Alright everybody, we're getting set up here. Sitting right over a bed of weeds. Probably 4 or 5 feet of water. I think the actual water column here is closer to 10 feet, but some pretty thick weeds right here, which is nice. And I tried to find a spot around here that had minnows, but no places around here do. And the closest place that I know of is roughly a half hour in the wrong direction. So I was able to get my hands on some worms, and we're going to give that a try. Alright, we're out here, we're fishing. So far I haven't had any bites, but that could change at any moment. It feels like in the wintertime the fish school up, and then they'll kind of come through and you'll get action for a little while, and then they kind of go on their way. So hopefully that's the case here, and they'll come by and take a bite of what I got here. But beautiful day outside. It's probably hovering around 30 degrees. We're having a warming trend here, which is very nice. We had the wind cold storm come through last week, and it was like 30 below, and it was just cold. In fact, I've never seen wind like that. We were second on the charts, I believe, with like 57 or 64 mile an hour winds. It was pretty wild time, but today is beautiful, and great day to come out. The auger ran all right. The story with that auger, that was Dad's auger that he bought new, and when I bought the St. Cloud house, I had borrowed it. It was at the apartment, and then we bought the house, and I moved it to the house, and I was so worried that someone would break into our garage and steal it. I put it in the house on the floor in the kitchen, and it hung out there for a while, and I think around that time Dad bought that Strike Master laser, I think is what he has, and this one's just been hanging out in the back of the barn or whatever. So last year I was telling him how my Strike Master was pretty much done, and he said, "Oh, I have an extra auger, why don't you take it?" So he gave me it, and the fuel that is in it is from the last time whenever he used it, because I never actually got around to using it. We bought a house and I was too busy to go fishing. So I don't know. I think we bought that house in 2015, 2016, and I don't know, I can't remember when he used that auger, but the gas that was in it last year, when I got it last winter at the end and I didn't use it, so the gas that's in it is from whenever the last time he used it, and so it's probably 2015, 2014 gas, and it ran on it. And I put some fresh stuff in there, kind of mixed it, and then it ran even better. But we're going to take that carb off, clean it out. I've been wanting to, I knew that it ran in the garage. It idled, and then I could rev it up. But once it gets under load, it cuts out. So I think what that means is it probably just has some gunk in there, and then when it is under load, it sucks all the fuel out, and it can't get enough fuel after that. Lost it. Alright, so we are going with this gold, what I would refer to as like a Swedish pimple with a treble hook. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's a big one. What the heck? Yeah. Oh, I don't want to snap my line. I don't want to snap my line. It's on there though. Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright. Let's try it a little bit here. Oh. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Ooh. Come on. What could it be? Getting close. Ooh. Oh, come on, come on. Oh my gosh, it's a big northern. Oh wow, it's a big northern too. Man, look at that. Oh, no. Wait. Come back. God. Oh, just, oh, look at this. Yeah, that's a big northern. Wow, I did not expect that. Wow. Wow. Okay, buddy, you kind of have my... I can't believe I think I have 7-pound test on there. I mean, it just hooked it. Just hooked it perfect. Wow. Alright. Yeah, I wasn't going for northerns today, but that is a beautiful fish. Really kind of came out of nowhere. There it goes. Alright, so we got our northern, and I waited to see if anything else was going to come through. Nothing has. I'm going to consider that a success though, because I know very little about this lake, and I still was able to get a decent fish, so that's pretty big for me. I'm going to pack up and head back. My mother-in-law's birthday is this weekend, and so my father-in-law, mother-in-law, and brother-in-law are all coming up to our house. We're hosting, and they're going to come up tomorrow. So today we're just kind of getting everything ready, making sure that like their bed sheets are washed, and you know how it is. So I'm going to head back and give my wife a hand this afternoon with that, and then this evening we'll work on that auger. So what you'll see next is, or shortly here, is going to be ripping apart that auger and seeing what there's to see. There might be some wild stuff in there. I'm not sure. We got the auger here, and we are going to fix her up the best we can. So first things first, it has fuel in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a little needle nose vice grip here and put it on the gas line. That will stop the fuel from spilling out. Get this fuel out. Turn with a bucket. Drain. It has a green hue to it, but with mixed gas it's kind of hard to tell. It does smell a little funky. That just pops up. So there's only one connection point between the carb and the throttle, and it's this one little spring here. You can kind of move this. So there's just a tiny spring. There is multiple holes on the carb side, so you want to make sure that you pay attention to what hole you pull it out of. And then Also, if you want to, you could disconnect it on the linkage side. That'd probably be your best bet. Take a picture of it, mark it with a marker, just some way to remember where it was. What do you guys think? 11 mil? Yep, 11 mil. There we go. There's one. Back of a screwdriver. Tap it a little bit. And then get this seal off. This gasket is sticking on the one side, so I'm just peeling it off very gently, because we do not want to ruin this gasket if we can. See, this is called a wind vane, and this hooks up to the spring on the top. And as you pull on the throttle, the wind coming off of the flywheel fins can move this. Yeah, that's pretty grungy. So here we are. This thing is disgusting. Like I said, this was sitting in the back of Dad's workshop, and it was collecting all sorts of wood dust. This side here is the intake, and I can look right in there. See if I can get a flashlight in there for you guys. You might be able to see there is some sawdust, gunky junk in there. And I'm sure underneath here there's all sorts of gunky stuff as well. So we're going to open this thing up, and we are going to take it apart and see what's causing it to run rough, and then hopefully fix it and get it put back together. Ever so gently try to peel this seal off. That's, I think, gonna work. Yep, for the intake. Probably like a T, I don't know how these go up, T25 or something, but this works. So the intake faces up, sucking air from underneath the fuel tank. That way you're not going to breathe in like snow, or I don't know, maybe if you dipped it really heavy in the hole, you're not going to breathe in slushy junk. Ooh, she is greasy. Oof. It's very sticky, lots of sawdust junk happening in here right now. Oof. Okay. And here's the intake. The air would go through here into the carb. I mean, there's just chunks in there. That's not a good sign. Surprised this thing ran at all. Nice chunks of stuff in here. Try to get it zoomed in close. So if you look right in here, there's a chunk of something. This whole edge is nothing but chunks of junk. And inside of this is a tiny little hole. So that's definitely something to be looking at. Okay, so right here you can see it, there's a tiny little needle. Okay, and that pulses with this piece, and so that's what's letting your fuel in there. And then on the side of it, if you look in between, right here on this flat, you might see a little hole. There's one on this side too. So those are just there's so many tiny little holes in here and that can give you trouble. So what I got here is just this cut open quart of oil and some special stuff inside. Okay. And we are just gonna start cleaning away here. Probably put on some gloves. Brushy brush here. So yeah, if you're like me and you don't have an ultrasonic parts cleaner, get yourself a little, I don't know, get yourself a paint can of diesel, because this stuff cuts through oil like you would not believe. Put those in there, and those in there. So now I'm going to take this over to the compressed air, and I'm going to blow it off with compressed air and blow air all up in it and stuff to make sure that the holes are as clean as I can get them. Like I said, it was running pretty good. You know, it just needed a little bit of love. This, like I said, goes in the upright position. This little piece here is going up. Fuel tank. Put on the fuel line. Seems like it's running good to me. Let's get packed. Oh.